from surviving multiple cancellations attempts.
I hated opening up Twitter and seeing the same image of my face in my mentions, and I hated it, and I didn't like the attention.
To being exposed by an underage fan after a fantasy roleplay gone wrong.
But let me be very clear. I had absolutely no idea that he was 15. I absolutely did not lie in my original Reddit post.
Here are times face reveals completely destroyed a YouTuber's life, starting with J Schlatt, whose attempt at a face reveal led to disastrous consequences. During a stream in September 2019, J Schlatt would announce that he finally hit a new milestone in Minecraft history. But just moments before the celebration, he shocked his fans with an unexpected move.
This is so stupid.
But while Schlatt had hoped that the video would generate little to no hype, his audience didn't see things the same way, instantly setting the entire internet on fire. Okay, but I didn't expect him to be this cute. I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks he's extremely cute. I've watched his face reveal video so many times, and every time he gets cuter, I don't know what to do. However, unlike your favorite YouTubers who would have welcomed this interest as the internet's newest heartthrob, J Schlatt would have an entirely different reaction.
I hated opening up Twitter and seeing the same image of my face in my mentions, and I hated it, and I didn't like the attention.
Forcing him to make some life-altering decisions.
Because my hair doesn't grow in right. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna embrace these, and maybe it'll make me a little less f***able.
You didn't want to be f***able? A lot of people get that label and they want to stick with it.
People get so weird when you're f***able, Anthony.
Which actually got him what he wanted.
I became un-f***able.
Do you think you'll ever get hot again?
It really depends.
However, despite his reputation for edgy jokes, just a year after his face reveal, J Schlatt would find himself in hot water after Twitter users dug up a bunch of tweets he had made in the past and tried to cancel him. But barely a year later, he found himself in a more severe controversy when he and other streamers were seen playing a Jackbox game called Survive the Internet, where players twist each other's words to create outrageous statements.
Now, here's the solution to not get canceled for saying slurs. Because we all know about identity. And if you identify as an oppressed group...
What?
That's
you can use the old art of blackface. And through this, you won't get canceled for saying slurs.
And since J Schlatt was literally the most hated streamer at this point, this joke was not well received, landing J Schlatt in more hot water. I genuinely don't understand how this is shocking when this is the same guy that makes 9/11 jokes and sarcastically claims to be a Nazi like it's edgy and tasteless AF. I've never heard of this person in my life, but yeah, bro looks like a racist. The fact that most of my favorite YouTubers are friends with him.
J Schlatt is apparently a very problematic figure in the Minecraft community. I don't know what the f he did, but it sounds like he must have beat up everyone's dad and then fucked all of their moms in that community. They hate him. They have labeled him every awful thing that you can possibly think of, from a racist to a homophobe to a Nazi to a transphobe. All of it has been slapped onto J Schlatt. I have no idea.
Despite the endless controversies, J Schlatt still maintains his reputation as a dominant figure in the YouTube community, with his following only growing stronger. But while J Schlatt was able to escape these allegations without uttering a single apology, Pyroynical wouldn't be so lucky. On October 12th, 2016, just weeks after YouTuber Casey Neistat's controversial take on the 2016 presidential election sparked controversy online, Pyroynical would appear on video for the first time mocking Neistat for his political stance.
So I've done a face reveal, not sure why. This'll only end bad for me. I was gonna do this for the 1 million, but that's no fucking point, let's be fair.
However, while this face reveal was met with both excitement and skepticism, just 4 years later, the internet would completely turn against him when a Twitter user by the name Ivory Rasmus unleashed a series of chilling tweets about him. Pyroynical groomed me, and I have screenshots to prove it. I've been sitting thinking about this shit non-stop, being angry, confused, and sad that I've had to accept this since I was 15. But I've never said anything 'cause I felt powerless. I have Discord screenshots going back 4 years proving all of this, and I don't know if I should post them here, but I may. Pyroynical accused of grooming. Damn. Expected, but damn. Prompting Pyroynical to release a massive Reddit post explaining his side of the story. I want to set the record straight with you all and share the truth. This accusation is 100% false and incredibly irresponsible. I'm not denying that in the past I took part in conversations with others that many of you will understandably consider to be weird and distasteful. But these exchanges never amounted to anything other than fantasy roleplay. I've never sent or solicited nude or IRL content. I've never tried to engineer an illicit encounter or lure anybody into anything. Every exchange between Ivory and I was fully consensual and reciprocal. However, despite this disclaimer, fans weren't buying it. And just days later, Pyroynical found himself in even deeper trouble when a YouTuber by the name of Turkey Tom posted a video about him.
This isn't the case of a 2-year age gap. This is a sophomore in college and a sophomore in high school being over DMs. And as I clearly shown here and in my video, he clearly knew Ivory's age and lied about it after the fact to get out of it.
So the worst case scenario isn't Pyro forgot to ask Ivory for his age, and now it's Pyro was well aware Ivory was a minor when this driven conversation took place.
Which would stir the public's opinion even further. This led Pyro to double down, and just days later he released a video pushing back against the allegations.
But let me be very clear. I had absolutely no idea that he was 15. I absolutely did not lie in my original Reddit post, and I would like to emphasize that. Ivory himself did not disclose to me directly that he was 15. And the evidence itself supports this too. Up until September this year, I'd be perfectly cool with him. We were still speaking and still on very good terms. However, for one reason or another, he felt the need to come out about these allegations. To expose that I'm a sexual predator, I took advantage of him, and I knew his age all along. This is all untrue, and I am amazed how out of proportion this is all blown up.
But he wasn't done yet.
These conversations never led to any nudes being exchanged. It was just purely fantasy garbage, something which Ivory himself confirms.
Did he ever ask you for nudes?
No.
No.
What these people look like, their gender, these weren't variables. Like, I could have been doing this with a 90-year-old cave troll and it wouldn't have made a difference. It was roleplay after all. You're just pretending.
He would then take some responsibility for his part in the drama.
It was entirely my responsibility to verify his age before having these conversations. And the fact that I didn't, that is so incredibly negligent of me to do so. I may have been young myself, but still old enough to know better.
This new revelation would serve its purpose and change the public sentiment about him. I love how most of the people who tried to slander him just backpedaled now. What a slimy bunch. Seeing that his actions had strongly backfired, Ivory would delete all the accusations from the internet and claim that he was only trolling. But while Pyroynical's face reveal led to devastating consequences, up next is Dream, who would forever be regretful for his decision to do a face reveal. On September 5th, 2022, famous Minecraft YouTuber Dream would announce on his Discord server that he was finally getting rid of his mask.
I'd reckon that it will happen sometime between the 22nd and the 7th.
And just a month later, he would stand by his word and actually give his audience what they've always wanted.
Hi. It feels so awkward, talking to a camera for the first time.
But since the reveal had been hyped up by Dream and some other streamers for weeks, this wasn't quite what most people expected, leading to a barrage of mockery online. To make matters worse, hashtags like "he's ugly" and "put the mask back on" would begin trending on Twitter, prompting a hilarious reaction from Penguin Zero himself.
My god. If they find him ugly, wait till they see me. They're gonna think I'm some kind of car accident victim that had butthole skin grafted to their face and fucking pube hair taped onto it. That shit had my self-esteem going right down the shitter. I felt like that SpongeBob episode, like, I'm ugly and I'm proud. Like, it was, like, that had an effect on me, my soul.
But despite the overwhelming negativity surrounding his face reveal, just a day after, a Twitter user would make some career-ending allegations about him. Too tired/real-life struggling to get involved. But the YouTuber trending right now already face revealed to me years ago when he was flirting with me when I was a minor. Through his personal Snap, number, and Twitter. The shit you see is probably real from others with similar stories. Funny draft though. I just can't believe the shit I'm seeing about him talking to 13/15-year-olds plus the power imbalance of him having subscribers. Gross. I don't even want to look into it. And just a day later, she would share more evidence. Here's me telling him I'm 18 soon. I also believe I clearly had 17 in my bio. I have 20 now. I have him asking for my snap, and we talked about school, forcing Dream to address the allegations. Wake up to people making up disgusting false accusations for the millionth time. I'm going to enjoy my last couple days in LA and not let people try and ruin it. But while the drama was still unfolding, another girl called Anastasia joined in the conversation, sharing her own side of the story.
He sent me a picture of his, and he sent me a picture of him nutting to me. I clearly sent him stuff as well. I informed him that I was coming to Orlando in August, and it was suggested that we meet up and have. I was either going to have him come to the resort I was at, or he was going to pick me up and bring him to his house. He told me that he has a chest full of toys that he was going to use on me. And to top it all off, he blocked me after seeing my tweet.
This would then be followed by another accusation by a burner account. But while it seemed like the final blow to his career, forcing Dream to share his groundbreaking evidence in a bid to exonerate himself.
Let's go over her actual claims in detail. Amanda claims that after I added her on Snapchat on January 17th, 2022, that we started sexting. She showed that her birthday, when she would turn 18, is on February 17th, exactly a month later. She claims that we sexted from around the 17th of January, the day I added her on Snapchat, to the 10th of February, and then that it stopped. She said that while she was still underage, we exchanged nudes. Her evidence of this was 2 photos of, supposedly me, from after she was 18, complimenting her. Her final important claim was that she traveled to Orlando in August and that we planned to meet up and have sex. And I just want to make sure that I blatantly deny this before continuing. None of this is true. She claims that sexting started around January 17th and that sexting stopped February 10th. Even if you want to give her the maximum benefit of doubt and say that she confused the timeline, she turned 18 on the 17th, 1 week after she claimed the sexting stopped. So there's not much leeway.
He would then go on to leave further evidence.
I put a transcript of every Instagram message that I've ever sent her, linked to the description. It might not be every message that she sent me because there's proof that she deleted Instagram messages to me. An old TikTok of hers has messages from me that wasn't in her post with the accusations when she showed our messages, but my transcript tried to include those and piece it together.
Amanda, the person who accused Dream of grooming, has admitted to lying. Sam, the burner who claimed Dream sent inappropriate videos to a minor source, has admitted to lying. Anastasia's thread was debunked and deleted over a year ago. There is no victim. Dream is innocent. And exactly 1 year after his highly publicized face reveal, Dream would announce that he was taking back his face reveal. While the YouTuber continued to post as before, the controversy shattered his reputation. Much like Corpse, who disappeared from the internet forever after getting betrayed by his own fans. On December 14th, 2019, Corpse's husband would release an unexpected tweet that no one saw coming. I think I'm going to inevitably face reveal and all that at some point in 2020 if I have to do this double life constant paranoia and not going anywhere shit for another year. I'm gonna neck. But just a month later, it was clear he'd had a complete change of heart. Man, how the fuck did Hannah Montana get the best of both worlds? I can't even get the best of one. This would be evident during a heartfelt episode with Anthony Padilla, where Corpse would sadly reveal that he didn't believe he could ever live up to the expectations people had about him.
I get bored way too quick to do one thing.
Is there anything you could tell us about what you're working on now with your music, any collabs or anything that you're developing behind the scenes?
Yeah, I just had that song with Machine Gun Kelly. It's f***ing insane.
To make matters worse, he would also open up about his struggles with crippling anxiety.
Crawling to the door to get groceries and barely being able to do that.
Which could be because
you were like laying on the couch right outside, just like...
I didn't know that you saw that.
And in a second episode with Anthony Padilla, Corpse would reveal even more heartbreaking details.
I feel like I would be happier in a world where I could be myself openly and not worry about like hiding from everybody. But I do think it's also the best decision for me because I don't think I could handle that many people like judging me at once.
But the most chilling revelation came when he revealed his mental health challenges.
When I was doing those Among Us streams first starting, like literally like 20 minutes before some of them, I was literally like cutting my face with a razor blade.
But despite this, his followers would attempt to expose Corpse's identity. And in March 2021, an internet user would post a leaked image of his face and home address, unleashing a lot of hate towards him. Since this had been what Corpse had fought against for so long, he he would appear less frequently on stream, before eventually pulling back entirely.
Corpse began his career on YouTube in 2015, in which he became well known for his ominous horror story narrations. Secretly behind the scenes, Corpse was busy crafting his own unique musical style and rocked the industry with his debut single release in 2020.
Since then, Corpse has disappeared from the public eye, showing how badly his fans' behavior impacted him. But while Corpse's face reveal was forced upon him, eventually driving him to quit doing what he loved most, Fruit's face reveal would generate hate over something completely beyond her control. Back in the 18th of February 2020, YouTuber Fruit would take her fans by surprise after posting photos of her face online. Liches need their mortal disguise when visiting the overworld too, sometimes. However, while the post had some positive reception and fans were quite receptive, the comments were filled with users accusing her of breaking their immersion. Bad take. Breaking immersion is bad for VTuber's brand, just like a Disney princess will never break immersion at Disneyland. Something isn't right, but I don't know what. Although Fruit chose to remain silent during this period, it didn't take long for YouTubers to step up and speak out in her defense.
If seeing the face of a VTuber and being reminded that a real-life human being exists behind the content creator you enjoy upsets you, you never really cared about them in the first place. The fact that you can't separate the real person from the character they use on stream is very reminiscent of aunties who can't separate anime characters from real-life human beings.
Since then, Fruit has refused to post any videos or pictures revealing her true identity, a reflection of the impact the original face reveal had on her. However, Fruit's face reveal is still nothing when compared to the next YouTuber whose face reveal came with a heavy price. Just weeks before 2019 TwitchCon, Dizzy would surprise his followers by taking off his mask during a live stream.
We good.
But despite Dizzy's reputation as one of the most uncontroversial and beloved streamers in the community, the hate began to flood in. He looks like the chef from Ratatouille. He looks like Longneck. Put the mask back on. Dizzy got a bigger nose than XQC. However, since the purpose of the face reveal was to compete at TwitchCon, Dizzy would ignore the negativity, and in April 2019, he would make his very first appearance at Twitch.
It's going to go to none other than Dizzy himself. This is for you. The smiles, the cheers, the jeers.
Following his appearance at TwitchCon, his presence would only spark off more hostility. Is that Sid from Ice Age? A face that only a mother could love. Dizzy looks like a very young grandpa. This time around, the hostility would get much worse, and this relentless pressure would drive Dizzy to release a heartfelt tweet just months later. Sorry for not streaming recently. I just needed some relief on my mental health. Hope you guys understand. But things got worse when in a stream with fellow streamers, he revealed something even more devastating.
Can you tell me why you stopped playing Apex? Like, what changed your opinion about the game? I just stopped enjoying it. It's just the BR genre. It's just the BR genre in general. It's very exhausting.
Kinda saddens me seeing this. A nice kid doing no harm to anybody, basically inspiring to any day one Apex player at a time. Being destroyed by strangers for how the fuck he looks. We live in a sad world. Making this truly one of the worst times a face reveal destroyed a YouTuber's life.